If your government continues to lie to you consistently, this is where conspiracy theories thrive. If you're not transparent,
why do you want to be one of them?
If you want to cover, no. I'm not saying I'm one of them.
Why float a mad conspiracy theory about Israel?
Because it's the internet, and I'm a comedian. I actually, a lot of people thought it was very funny.
You have millions. I'm sure they did, but millions of people follow you, and you want them to think that Israel was behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. And you call me an ill-informed, irresponsible journalist.
Yeah, because I'm not a journalist. I'm a comedian. Remember, I'm a clown.
Was Israel somehow involved in the tragic murder of Charlie Kirk? Well, the short answer is no, but this is actually a claim that's made by many on the internet, including over here by Bassem Yousef, who's questioned about this crazy idea on the Piers Morgan show. So let's take a look at what he says over here and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
No matter how critical journalists are about Israel, it will never be enough for you, because you want the right to suggest that Charlie Kirk was the subject of a hit job by Israel. You want the world to think that. That's why you said what you said, and that's why when I asked you, you went, Netanyahu says it wasn't him.
By the way, I'm not even the only one. People are actually, here's the thing. If you continue lying to your people, right? I'll tell you what. Let's call me a conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah.
Call me someone who is illogical. Call me whatever you want. If your government continues to lie to you consistently, this is where conspiracy theories thrive. If you're not transparent,
why do you want to be one of them?
If you want to cover, no. I'm not saying I'm one of them.
Why float a mad conspiracy theory about Israel?
Because it's the internet, and I'm a comedian.
Okay, but it's not that funny, though, is it?
Actually, a lot of people thought it was very funny.
You have millions, I'm sure they did, but millions of people follow you, and you want them to think that Israel was behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. And you call me an ill-informed, irresponsible journalist.
Yeah, because I'm not a journalist. I'm a comedian. Remember, I'm a clown. I
don't think you're a clown.
That's what I do. Oh, I'm a clown. Actually, I'm a comedian. Comedians are actually overpaid.
But I think you're somebody who is so blindly hateful of all things Israel that you'll even promote a conspiracy theory, which is obvious nonsense, that they have something to do with Charlie Kirk's murder.
I'm not blindly hateful of Israel. I'm actually eyes wide open hateful of Israel.
Sure. But unfortunately, what it's done is driven you to promote conspiracy theories about their potential involvement in Charlie Kirk's murder.
I just released a video today, and I told them, you need to give us better lies. I didn't even mention that Israel. I said, like, this is a hit job. It was a hit job. Whether it was like a
You inferred it was Israel, and when I asked you about it, you went on a little rant about Netanyahu. Everyone can see it for what it is.
No. Okay. So call me a conspiracy theorist.
No, I think you're doing it quite deliberately, because you hate Israel so much, you want to associate it with every bad thing that's going on in the world. Whereas I prefer to be a bit more nuanced about it.
The idea that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Israel is so it's so mind-boggling to me. Even people like Dave Smith, who has been no friend to Israel since October 7th and before, was like, there's not really any proof for that. But so people are so ensconced in their hatred for Israel that everything, every problem, every issue, every tragedy that happens Israel must be behind it somehow. The Jews must be somehow involved. And I mean, why in the world would Israel send somebody to kill Charlie Kirk that he was the #1 defender of Israel since October 7th and before, long before? I showed you an interview that I did with him 10 years ago that he was very pro-Israel. He's been the most outstanding voice for Israel and in support of Jews since October 7th. He's defended people from his own party, defended Israel for them. So it doesn't make any sense. And some people say, well, you know, he started maybe changing his mind and he was looking in another direction. No, just no. The night before he was murdered, he was actually preparing for debates that he was going to be having by having a discussion about debate points regarding Israel being discussed with and prepped for with several people from Israel or who are familiar with the issue. So no, it's so jarring to have people think that this is where his mind was at. As far as this idea that Bassem Yousef says over here that, oh, I'm just a comedian, this is something that a lot of the wannabe journalists that are also comedians like to do. Jon Stewart did this for a while. Jon Stewart was talented and funny, but this whole idea of when you say something that goes too far or that is ridiculous, I'm just a comedian, right? You can't criticize me. I'm just a comedian. And then the rest of the time actually trying to act like a journalist or trying to give over a message that is certainly meant for an audience that would be consuming news. And so Bassem Yousef over here does that same tactic. Like, what do you mean? Israel did it? No, I'm a comedian. That's like say funny things. It's not funny. It's ridiculous. Get a life. And I don't know what else to say at this point with these sorts of people. But if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.